Hey guys, it's that Dividend guy coming at you with another Robinhood portfolio update. Happy Monday. Hopefully everybody's having a GGD, a great green day in the market. You know, I always wish the best for my viewers and subscribers. So today we're going to go over the overall value of the portfolio sitting at $59,469.71. We're going to go over the metrics, of course, the buying power, our individual holdings, and how they are performing, which looks like we are up quite a bit today. A lot of green in the portfolio, as well as our watch list and what prices I would buy those two stocks at. So jumping right in, as I said for today, we're sitting at $59,469.71. We gained about $300 today, right about 0.6%. For that 1 week mark, we are up $914.35, a 1.5% return for the past week. That 1 month mark, we're up $104.98, 0.18% return. That 3 month mark, we're up $4,200 with a 7.67% return. Year to date, we are up $9,646 with a 19.36% return. Then that 1 year mark, we are up $12,907, a 27.72% return. Then all time, since April of 2018, we are up $24,139.81 with a 68% return. Then we have a buying power of $65.13. I'm going to let that sit, and it will just add to the dividends of Realty Income, AbbVie, and then, of course, Realty Income again. So it will be Realty Income finishing out this month in the next couple of days. Then AbbVie will pay us $150 when it comes to November, and then Realty Income will pay us again, and Apple will actually pay us as well. So that $65 is just going to add to my dividends for next month. And then, of course, all those dividends will either purchase us shares of Visa or shares of T. Rowe Price or a share of Visa. So depending on how much we have when everything's all said and done, we'll be reinvesting those dividends for next month, continuing the dividend snowball. First off, let's jump into Realty Income, the monthly dividend paying stock, Dividend Aristocrat. At $62.25, we have 171 shares, $10,644 of market value. Average cost is $65.02. Right around 18% of the portfolio is in Realty Income. Average cost is $65.02, right around almost $86 in the green today. Right around 1% for the return today. Total return is actually in the red, $472.97, about a 4.3% loss, with a dividend coming in, as I said before, on the 15th of every month we get paid from Realty Income of $45.06. So this is going to be adding to that dividend snowball. And the goal originally was to get enough shares of Realty Income to reinvest back into itself, but it's such a large position as of right now. I want to use it to, roll into other dividend stocks. Next up, we've got a Dividend King in Altria, really close to that $50 mark. We've got 320 shares, right around $15,960 of market value. Average cost is $47.27. 26.8% of the portfolio is in Altria. Today we're up $16. Total we're up $838 with a 5.5% return here. Love Realty Income. It just paid us over $300, and that was enough with the money we had sitting in the account to buy us 2 shares of Apple, which I want to be the single biggest position. So Altria really plays its role well here with that compounding dividend. Even if the stock price doesn't go up a whole lot, which we are nearly, over $800 in the green, usually the stock is down, and that is one of the reasons why I was strategic when I bought Altria. It's one of those stocks that the market loves to hate, and I feel like, just like with oil, it is down, it goes through booms and busts, but most of the time people hate big tobacco, which is good for me because the stock price drops and then that yield goes up, so I get paid more with having to put less and less money in, and it compounds really well on top of that as well with the dividend growth. Next, we got Coca-Cola, another Dividend King, sitting at $70.40, 15 shares. Current value is $1,056. Average cost is $60.54. Almost 2% of the portfolio is in Coca-Cola. Today we're up $12.75. Total we're up $147.83 with a 16% return. Guys, I'm not touching Coca-Cola at these levels. I love Coca-Cola. I want it to be one of the pillar stocks in the portfolio, up there with Apple, Visa, Google, and Berkshire Hathaway, but I don't want to buy it at these prices. So I'm just going to be patient and wait for it to drop. It's going to have to drop about $10 to be in my buy range. But patience is important when it comes to investing, and there are other opportunities within the portfolio outside of Coca-Cola. Then we got Apple at $231.68. We are up $3.75 today. Shares, we have 8 shares. We did have 6, but like I said before, we did use dividends to buy 2 more. We have a market value of $1,850. Average cost is $215, right around $215.50. 3.12% of the portfolio is in Apple. I would be happy one day if that's at 31.2%. It will be a massive position for me, given time. But today we're up $33, right around a 2% return. Total, we're up almost $130 with a 7.5% return. And guys, like I said, this is just going to keep getting bigger. I love Apple, love the products, love the ecosystem. And for me, the main reason for investing is that services segment. It just keeps growing. Even if the amount of iPhone sales starts to decline, I think that will be a buying opportunity. People are still spending money in the Apple ecosystem, and it is so well integrated and so well put together that I think that's going to be the real compounding machine when it comes to the earnings of Apple. So I'm excited to see how that services segment compounds over time. And then we've got AbbVie at $195.01, 95 shares, $18,500 of market value. Average cost is $95.19. 31% of the portfolio is in AbbVie. Today we're up $77.90. Total, we are up around almost $9,500 with a 104.87% total return. So guys, I've nearly doubled my money. I think so I've over doubled my money, plus the dividends have grown. So the capital appreciation is wonderful, but remember, we're in this for the dividends. So the AbbVie dividend of around $150 will be buying us at least 1 share of T. Rowe Price. And with the other dividends coming in, it should give us 1 share of Visa. So either we can buy, I believe it'll be around 2 shares of T. Rowe Price or 1 share of Visa, as long as it stays under, I think it's like $300 a share. So that's wonderful. And the dividend has grown as well. It started off when I first bought shares at $1.07. Now it's at $1.55. So not only has the stock appreciated really well, but the dividends have grown as well on top of that stock price appreciation. Then we've got Visa at $281, up, looks like nearly $3 today. We only have 1 share, so $281 is our market value. Average cost is $268.29. About 0.5% of the portfolio is in Visa. Today, we are up $3.16. Total, we're up $12.71 with a near 5% return. Guys, I'd still buy it here. A 4% markup is not that bad. I would rather it be below my average cost, but I understand Visa's a wonderful business, and I would rather add to it and let it compound within the portfolio than get so hung up on my average cost that I never buy a share. Visa and Apple are in that same realm for me, because they're such high quality compounding businesses that have such a wide economic moat that I feel like even if I have to pay a little bit of a premium, even if I buy it above my average cost, I think over time, with how well they compound internally, I think I'll still have great returns over the long run. So even if I have to purchase at a little bit of a markup compared to my average cost, I'm okay with that when it comes to certain businesses, and Visa does check all the boxes for me. And then, of course, T. Rowe Price at $109.68. We got 101 shares. I bought another share with dividends. So that's awesome. But $11,000 of market value. Average cost is $109.66. Around 18.5% of the portfolio is in T. Rowe Price. Today we're up $70.70. Total, we're up $1.67. So pretty much break even here with T. Rowe Price. So, and guys, with T. Rowe, this is one of those that it is down significantly from all-time highs. If you look at it in 2021, so a few years ago now, it was all the way up in the 220 range. So, I mean, from here, I could historically double my money. Plus, I'm getting that 125 bucks every quarter, which is enough to buy about at my average cost about 2 shares of Coca-Cola, at least a single share. With realty income, though, I think I can still buy 2 shares of Coca-Cola. But as of right now, I would probably just let that sit and purchase more shares of Apple. But I still am at a good price to buy here for T Rowe. And then, of course, Google and Berkshire are on my watch list. I would buy Google probably anywhere around 175 to 180. I love the YouTube business. I love the ad business. So overall, just the I looked at the metrics, and the internal compounding of the cloud business and the YouTube business alone is such a huge revenue driver. Of course, the ad business is insane too with Google Ads, but YouTube is such a monster when it comes to the revenue that it brings in for Google. So overall, guys, I love the YouTube business. I would invest in it if it ever broke out. If it was ever spun out, I would 100% love to own YouTube. And the reason that I like Google more than Facebook is simply because I feel like Facebook is a bit overvalued. I missed the boat on Facebook, but I do like the YouTube business more than I like Facebook. So there are similarities because they're both ads, but I feel like YouTube as an entertainment platform has more staying power than a social media platform. I mean, they're similar, but I feel like entertainment, especially when it comes to like the creators on YouTube, I feel like they have a bit more staying power than a social media site. And Facebook's very good at what they do. I love Facebook. I use it every day, but I just see like they've had to buy like Instagram. They've had to like change their site a bit and maneuver through the social media platforms, where I feel like YouTube has a lot of staying power and it's easier to maneuver when it comes to YouTube versus Facebook. But I eventually will put Facebook in my IRA instead. So I'll get some Facebook exposure. I just don't want it in my dividend portfolio quite yet. And I do think Google over the long term with the internal businesses that they have is going to be a bit more resilient when it comes to its competitive advantage. Then, of course, Berkshire Hathaway, guys. I love the insurance float. That is the big golden goose for me when it comes to Berkshire. That, and it's kind of funny because I love See's Candy, right? But it is such a small piece of the business. Um, it's honestly, I mean, it's not an afterthought because it's one of my favorites, but when it comes to the grand scheme of things, when it comes to the overall revenue of Berkshire, it is like it's a drop in the bucket, right? I mean, if you're looking at like it's one line of paint in a masterpiece, right? So it's not a huge revenue driver, but it is the product I think is good enough for me to invest in it. And like I said with YouTube, if See's Candy were a standalone company, I 1,000,000% would be purchasing it for my portfolio. That would be one of those businesses that if I had a chance to like taste the candy and then I could invest in the actual business, I would 100% own See's. So overall, guys, I love Berkshire. Of course, there's like Acme Brick, there's Geico, there's National Indemnity, there's Wesco. They've got Dairy Queen, Duracell, Pilot. They just did that last year. So there's so many businesses, and that's why I love Berkshire. So even if the insurance float doesn't perform um, stellar in a year, they have enough revenue streams. They've got like 70 businesses that they own internally. Plus, they've got all the dividends and appreciation from their portfolio, plus the insurance float, and they have some of the best underwriting historically in the US. So it's just there's so many good things about Berkshire. Plus, they have great investing lieutenants, Ted and Todd, as well as Ajit Jain, which I think he is masterful in the way he runs the insurance business. And Greg Abel also has been running businesses within Berkshire. He did run the the energy business as well. And Buffett has said in multiple different shareholder letters that both of them have done a astronomical job compared to what he was doing when he ran it himself. So he's got a lot of good people running those businesses. And I think with the good management team that he has in place after he goes, I do think that it will compound for years and years to come, for decades to come. So overall, guys, there's just so many things that I like about Berkshire. And my goal is to own a share every single year that I invest. So I owe myself a share for 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So as of right now, until the end of this year, I will owe myself 7 shares of Berkshire Hathaway. So as of right now, my position should be sitting at my share count. I should have about $3,200 in Berkshire. I'll get there eventually, but it will take time. But overall, guys, I'm excited for the daily videos. I'm excited to take advantage of any opportunities that we have in the portfolio, and I'm just going to keep building my wealth. I'm going to keep using those dividends to compound. So with that being said, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel, That Dividend Guy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another Robinhood portfolio update. Take care.